Welcome to the College Investor Audio Show as we take a look at 5 major student loan changes that are a-comin' in 2026. But first, quick reminder. Anytime any topic you are interested in comes up on the podcast, you can see the article, dive deeper, links, resources, everything you need to know about the topic is at thecollegeinvestor.com. Just find the article associated with the podcast and you'll see all the details you need. You can also see us on social media, get to know us. We'd love to be your friend and get to know you better too. Just search for the words The College Investor and you'll find us. Okay, 5 major student loan changes coming this year. Federal student loans are a critical component in how families pay for college. I wish it wasn't, but it just is reality. So, starting in 2026, new laws will change how much students and parents can borrow and how those student loans will be repaid. The changes are significant too, especially for grad students, professional programs, and families that rely on Parent Plus loans to close those college funding gaps. Student loan repayment also faces one of the biggest shifts ever. For families planning for college or grad school, or those already in repayment on student loans, the next year will be another wild one with updates and changes galore. Okay, the first one we'll talk about, Grad Plus loans going away. For years, Grad Plus loans have allowed graduate and professional students to borrow up to the full cost of attendance, covering tuition, fees, housing, living expenses, after other aid is applied. That option, goodbye for new borrowers after July 1st of this year. Here's what's changing. Grad Plus loans will no longer be issued to students who take out their first federal loan for grad school on or after that date, July 1st. Students who already have Grad Plus loans for their program of study might be allowed to continue borrowing under existing limits for up to 3 years. All new students, though, to graduate programs are not going to have access to it. And here's why. The OBA, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, ended the Grad Plus loan program as lawmakers have expressed concerns about unlimited borrowing, which is not only bad for collecting the debt, but also just for putting a huge debt burden on each individual borrower, right? Graduate students, while being a lower number of borrowers, have a significantly higher average balance. Ending Grad Plus borrowing places a hard limit on how much graduate students can finance through federal student loans. Here's how it affects you. If you're thinking about law school, medical school, MBA programs, other high-cost graduate programs, you might no longer be able to borrow enough through federal loans alone to cover all the costs. That shortfall may need to be filled through these things. Scholarships, of course, fellowships, those types of things, employer tuition benefits, personal savings, and then private student loans. So here's what to plan. If you're thinking about this, you should review the full cost of programs that you are considering and compare it to the new federal student loan limits. You can do that easily inside this article at thecollegeinvestor.com. Major thing number 2, Parent Plus loans will have new limits. Parent Plus loans have long been the backstop of college financing. My mom did it, allowing parents to borrow up to the full cost of attendance for their child's education. That, too, is a changin'. And here's what's changing. New Parent Plus loans issued after July 1st will be capped at $20,000 per student per year, $65,000 total per student. Previously, parents could borrow the entire amount of the cost of attendance. Not a good idea, but they could, minus other financial aid received. Here's why this is all going down. Parent Plus borrowing has grown steadily, and policymakers have expressed concern about parents taking on large balances so close to retirement, sometimes with limited ability to repay it. The new caps were passed as part of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which also changed the repayment option for all future Parent Plus loans as well. Here's how it affects families. Families that rely heavily on Parent Plus loans to afford private schools or out-of-state public universities or other high-cost programs are going to face meaningful funding gaps. The change may influence your college selection decisions, whether students live on or off campus, and how costs are split between parents and students. I just started paying for my mom, after I got done graduating and got a job, right? I mean, it just seems logical. But anyway, here's what to plan if you're in this situation. Parents of middle and high school students should revisit college savings plans and expected borrowing strategies. Families have to or may need to, but I'm just going to say have to, increase savings where possible. Compare in-state and lower-cost options more carefully. Take a second, third, fourth look at these things. Ask colleges about institutional grants and tuition payment plans. Or run the college investor's How Much Student Loan Debt Can I Afford calculator. You can see it at thecollegeinvestor.com. So parents with existing PLUS loans should also monitor consolidation and repayment timelines too, as access to income-based repayment options depend on when loans are consolidated. Major change number 3. New borrowing limits for graduate and professional students. This is the big thing. We talked about this a few weeks ago. But with the end of Grad Plus loans comes a new structure of loan caps for grad and professional education. There will now be new borrowing limits for both graduate school and professional school, the first time the government has ever made the distinction in borrowing limits per program. Here's what's changing. Federal direct unsubsidized loans will remain available, but with stricter limits, $20,500 per year, $100,000 lifetime for graduate programs, $50,000 per year, and $200,000 lifetime for professional programs. Here's why. This change is designed to replace open-ended borrowing with strict limits similar to how undergrad loans operate. And here's how it affects students. Graduate students in lower-cost programs, no big deal. No difference. Those in expensive, though, professional tracks might need to find tens of thousands of dollars elsewhere. Programs with high tuition but modest postgraduate earnings might become harder to justify financially under the new rules, or even under the old rules, really. Private lenders may also not replace federal student loans for some degrees. So here's what to plan for. Applicants should compare expected debt to realistic earnings outcomes in their field. You should have been doing that already, but now with the new limits, it might kind of push you in that direction. Graduate school decisions are going to need to be extremely return on investment focused. Take a look at that in more detail at thecollegeinvestor.com, thinking about ROI. All right, major change number 4. The Repayment Assistance Plan. Oh boy. This launches this year. Borrowing rules are only half the story. Repayment plans are changing too. Here's what's changing. For loans dispersed on or after July 1st, 2026, most existing income-driven repayment plans will be replaced by a new RAP, Repayment Assistance Plan. Borrowers will generally choose between a standard fixed repayment plan, the new RAP option. That's it. It's important to note that borrowers with new Parent Plus loans after July 1st will only have access to the standard repayment plan. Okay, so here's why. The federal repayment system is crazy. Multiple income-driven plans all overlapping each other. RAP is intended to simplify repayment, though not necessarily make it any cheaper. Here's how it affects you if you're a borrower. Payments under RAP will be tied to income, but forgiveness timelines are longer than under recent plans. Monthly payments for some borrowers might rise over time, particularly as your income increases. RAP is compelling, though, because it offers interest subsidies and principal reduction assistance. Very cool features. So here's what to plan for. Students who expect to rely on income-driven repayment should pay very close attention to when their loans are dispersed. Loans dispersed before June 30th, 26 will still maintain access to income-based repayment, or IBR. Major change number 5, and our last one for today. The SAVE plan is also ending. The Saving on a Valuable Education, or SAVE plan, was a Biden-era initiative that has left over 7 million borrowers in limbo. While the court system and OBA both have killed the SAVE plan, the final SAVE timelines are still kind of uncertain. What is certain is that borrowers in the SAVE plan need to be making decisions and planning to change repayment plans this year. What's changing? SAVE is closed for business to new borrowers, and those in the SAVE plan need to decide on either IBR or just wait for RAP in July. It's possible the Department of Education will force borrowers into a new plan on their own timeline, which may not be beneficial for those waiting in limbo. Here's why. This is all going down. SAVE was created under earlier executive authority. and it has faced legal and legislative challenges. This was challenged in court and also eliminated by law. Here's how it affects borrowers. Borrowers currently on Save should run their numbers using the College Investor's RAP calculator or student loan calculator to determine potential payment under IBR, potential payment under RAP, potential standard plan payment, which is the fastest way to get out of debt, by the way. Based on those numbers, borrowers can decide which repayment plan would work best for them. Borrowers pursuing public service loan forgiveness should likely change sooner rather than later, do it now, to continue making forward progress on forgiveness. Here's what to plan right now. Borrowers should log into their loan servicer and just make sure that your contact information is updated. This is going to make sure that you don't miss any important timelines or deadlines. Here's what borrowers and families can do right now. The most important step is early planning. The rules that apply to your loans will depend heavily on when you borrow and what type of student loan you have. Households want to do this. Number 1, review college and graduate school timelines very carefully. 2, compare total program costs against new loan limits. 3, increase savings or seek scholarships right now. And 4, ask financial aid offices how funding packages might be changing. Existing borrowers just need to run the numbers on their repayment plans and understand the changes. The federal student loan system in 2026 is going to be more limited, more structured, and a little less forgiving for future borrowers. Families who understand those shifts now will be better positioned to avoid all the surprises later on and to make education decisions that align with long-term financial stability. And that is our show for today. You have been warned. A lot of things are changing. Some for good, some for not so good, some are kind of just neutral, but you can find out everything you could possibly want to know about student loans at thecollegeinvestor.com. There you're going to find all the resources, all the links that you need. Don't ask ChatGPT. We have a whole article on false information that the AI bots tend to spew. Just go to humans. We kind of know a little bit better anyway. You can find it all at thecollegeinvestor.com. You can also search for those words on social media. You'll find us there as well. We'd love to help you along on your journey. The College Investor is how you'll find us and get connected to us. Thanks again for stopping by today, and we'll talk to you again real soon.